Welcome back to Bluebird's Bay. Today we are going to be doing some very, very big things, and I thought I would take you along the ride with me, with what we're doing. I guess, you know what, there's actually two places to look at what we were up to. It's going to probably be one of the biggest builds yet, so far, which is, it kind of involves less building and more removing as well, but you'll see what I mean. It's a large area, a large thing that we're doing. And I thought, you know what? It's going to be kind of difficult, so I'm going to try my best to keep everybody around with us the whole track, and I think it's going to be easy enough. I mean, this is by far not the biggest scale, but what we're going to do is we're going to do some terraforming, we're going to do some wall building, some structural building to hold in this island. That's going to be the whole point of it, because what we are doing today is we are building this part of this big island into its own little island. And I've already started removing some of these over here, remove a bit more over here, and you'll see what's going on, because there's a bit more to it than what may meet the eye. But first of all, down the back, look how terrible this land is. I don't even know what I was doing there. I was just probably getting rid of blocks. But there we go. This is what we're looking at. A very, very ugly point. But when we go over to the front here, everything's looking, I think, they have marginally good, pretty darn good. So there we go. That's what we got looking, well, it looking like over there. Pretty good. But, a big but. I went over to, let's just do a creeper inspection. Yep, we're good. Wonderful. We went over to the mainland, the spawn island, and I picked up our map, and it looks a lot larger when it's just the 4 squares. I still feel like I'm being watched by a creeper. Just 4 squares, and I've gone ahead, updated them, so now this part here is updated. You can see the tree and the rocks, and we're probably going to do a few more of them because they look fantastic by the map. And even just this, you can see so much stuff happening in these maps. And by the way, these are the smallest type of maps. So you can see scaling at 1:1, level 0 out of 4. So we've gone ahead for the highest magnified map that we can get, because I think they look cool. You can see a lot of little details. Even the cannon, for all it's worth, is on there. So we've got some cool stuff going on. It's actually, look at that. If you look very carefully, you can see the cannon's acacia blocks come up red, even though they're the acacia log, which is kind of interesting. But enough about that. Here is what I was saying. As you can see, we've cleared out this area here, and why it's a bit more than what may meet the eye is that we have to, first of all, match it up to the ground. We're going to be thinking about the shape of this island, so I'm going to have to think about the coastline here so we don't see any weird choppiness to it. So we're going to go around there, and then around here, obviously that's just a generation thing. Sometimes the game generates things very solidly. I'm willing to bet that over there will be a chunk boundary. We can actually go check it out. I'm pretty convinced that would be a chunk boundary, and just sometimes the game does some weird things. Okay, the sun's going down as well, so let's go check it out. F3G, let's check what's going on, and please tell me, am I right? No, I'm not actually. That's just a weird thing. Turns out that was incorrect, but it's still a weird way of making this land. So what our goal is right now, or at least the thing that I'm going to do after a good night's rest, is I'm going to go ahead and probably destroy this shovel, but I will try and remember to mend it up. Even though we don't have mending, we'll use diamonds. And I'm going to get rid of a lot of this stuff here. Maybe not all of that, because that's not too important for this episode, I guess. Maybe not. But we're going to go and get this shaped. That's the important part, is remove stuff, shape stuff, make things look good. It's a bit of work, as you could tell, and it's something that has to be done if we want this whole thing to pull together very, very well. Here we go. So it's starting to turn out like exactly the way I was hoping. Pretty much like a rocky island that no one really wants to be on. Pirates, I guess, land up here because, of course, that's the way that's what this place is for. And I think this is all right. We can work with this. This is nothing too crazy, but it's definitely a lot better than your standard normal Minecraft terrain. And hey, I think that's not too hard to do, but in the end, I guess it's still better off than your normal old stuff. But hey, let's go and check what the most important part about this. By the way, we actually should get rid of this. Yeah, I think it's on the map, but that's all right. We'll get rid of it. But just to have a look at this before we go there. I want to go check it on the map, because I haven't yet updated the map to see what this area looks like since we've put the water in and we've done all this. I decided a good idea, and by the way, this inevitably becomes a squid farm when you put just those down there, slabs. But I decided to go ahead and get my beacon in just to make things a bit faster, and also drop some sponge in there because, man, I underestimate the power of sponge. That stuff is amazing. Creeper inspection, we're looking good. I'm still, you can see, the plan was for it to still stay dark and dreary. It's not quite going to work, so we're just going to keep doing those. Let's get rid of this. All right, so this one here will probably update immediately if there is anything on it. And there we go. Okay, a little bit. Oh, you know what that is? That over there is where I grew some spruce trees. I was like, wait, what? What's going on there? Let's go this one here. This will have a big one. Yes, that's the water going in there. You can see that. How we've started terraforming out that way. Let's grab this one. It's pretty cool how we've got an all four. Okay, you can see the beacon. So there we go. Bluebird's Bay looking like its own little island. I guess we could really call that in the middle of this bay over here. That's kind of cool. And the water is looking fantastic. I like the way we've got this to go down and around there. Definitely looking really good. Even with the edge like that. Look at that. That is so good. And then just one more for good measure because we might have missed a few blocks there. Yeah, that's fantastic. By the end of today, this is going to look awesome. I can't wait till we put a bridge over here. In fact, I was looking at this and I was thinking maybe we could even do like another entrance, but we'll see how we go. I like the way it is currently coming up. So the plan is bridge here, which isn't today, but we'll do a bridge here. And I want to do some more buildings because really just these, the two big buildings there, the tower. Maybe we could do something along here. We can maybe do like a building that would go under or something. I don't know. We'll have to work it in. And then of course, sorry, over there as well. So let's go ahead and start putting in a little bit of like a support structure in this place, and we'll start around here because, well, actually let's start around this way. So we want to make it as if this place is being held back a little bit through the terrain, and generally what helps at least to get something that looks kind of natural is to just do it the way you'd normally do it, where you start building in the terrain that you want to be built in. And for us here, this is the terrain that we want to build in. So what I'm thinking is if we can go in here, maybe we can start building this, taking away what I've already done, but start building this as if we were just coming in for the first time. We said, hey, we want to build a bit of a support wall over here, and this is what we're going to do. We go ahead, put our stuff in, and start with our support wall. And I think this is the best way to do it, and then we'll go around in pieces like this, and we'll just start adding it in. But pretty much the takeaway from that, if there's anything to take away from that, that I could at least advise is make sure if you want to do something that looks like it's been built in terrain, your best bet is sometimes just to go ahead, build the terrain, and then you don't have to worry about it, you know? And that's exactly what we're doing right now. We just built the terrain, and now we don't have to worry about the terrain. I think it's something like this. We're going off a very terrible reference image. I probably should have spent more time taking a better picture of the type of thing we're doing. We're doing something similar to what we've done in the front of the stock, by the way. So we have done this wall before. I'm just not 100% confident with the way that it's turning out, but we'll see how we go. So maybe something like that. And do we have any slabs? We do. Slab there, slab there. Yeah. So you see that this is starting now with this brick to look like the merge between the natural ground and also the building, which it's really how buildings look. You know, you got the little bit of natural ground mixed in with the rest, and then it starts merging together. That's the way it is. So let's go in here, and I guess it also makes it look like it's older as well. Like the rocks have started falling back over it. Oh man, it's good. So something like that. Maybe we could. Oh, do we not have? I think we need some jungle wood. Actually, would be kind of good. But that's all right. Let's go for something a little bit different then, I guess. Maybe use a lot of spruce. Perhaps we could go acacia. Let's do this. This actually might be a very good choice here. So we'll go up acacia over there. And maybe a little bit more acacia in here. We just see. You see, the point of this wall is just to... Oh, dang it. I thought I switched off that. There we go. The point is to make it look quite interesting without going too interesting. Like that. Look at that. Sort of interesting, but not over the top. I like that. Very simple. So let's just walk around here. Yeah, it looks kind of like there has been people around and they've done some stuff, but not too much stuff. Let's put another one in here and see what we can do. We'll leave them weird spaces, odd. Well, that's an even space, like odd spaces around like that. So we'll just go up here and we'll pretty much copy this wall over. And the whole point of this is just to make this kind of variation in the land while we're adding in a bit of nature, adding in a bit of man-made stuff. That's pretty much it. The most important part. So I'll get this one built because it's pretty much exactly the same. And then I've got some other stuff which we want to do because it really is just about merging in nature along with the man-made stuff. That's literally what today's episode hopefully will If there's any takeaway, hopefully that will be the takeaway. That's pretty much my point. We're making a quick trip over to Spiritwood because before we go any further, I thought about something I needed to ask. What was at least I think pretty important, because people asked about this actually in a fairly recent episode, saying, Jansey, what has happened with your farming area? What is going on there? And are you ever going to go back to it? Yes, we will. And in fact, oh, that's a villager. Gave me a fright there. In fact, one thing that I do need to do, because, of course, 1.14 snapshots are a thing. If you guys haven't checked them out, you got to go check them out. They're absolutely insane. The kind of things we're going to be able to build when 1.14 rolls around into the real deal game is going to be amazing. But let's head down here. In fact, this isn't completely creep spawn proof, so we should probably just be careful around it. Let's just quickly do a check out the back. We're good. All right, fantastic. You can tell we've got the half of the farm down. This side here being that half. This side here is not looking too hot, but we will definitely be getting towards it. And what I was thinking is, what are the blocks that we're going to be using a lot of? And you guys feel free to tell me what the blocks are that you think we'd be using a lot of. One that I think is going to be very important, and I'm thinking we will do this in the near future, is building a Nether Wart farm. So if anyone's got a suggestion for it, feel free to let me know. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I definitely think a Nether Wart farm would be the most perfect thing to be here. And that's for a very important reason. And that is, by the way, we may as well check out this. Ooh, good amount of cactus. And that is because red nether brick is going to be one of the most beautiful blocks we have ever seen. I'm looking so forward to using some of that red nether brick in my builds just everywhere. I think that's going to be super cool. And of course, that is something we are definitely going to need. So let me know if there's any good ideas of how to do it. Also, if there is, oh, there we go. If it is a good idea, if there's anything else we need to put in there, I'll happily put it in there. This piece has been bothering me forever. There we go. Finally. I've left that for way too long. But that was just why we came here. Well, we've been pretty darn busy over here, and let me tell you this, it is starting to turn out so good. I'm actually, this is one of those builds where it took a while, it started showing itself, and now it's just looking amazing. I'm loving it. And maybe you guys can tell me what you think, because you know what, it sometimes is dependent on you seeing your own things. You sometimes love them too much or hate them too much as well, or maybe the opposite way. But hey, I'm liking it. I think the only thing lacking is these structures. We need some more structures around here, and this place is going to look amazing. In fact, I was just going around with the boat probably like a few minutes ago just to see how it feels going around here, and man, it is looking really good. Actually, that's where I stopped there. So what I've done, I've put in some palm trees. We've gone ahead. You can see I've done some angled walls, another wall over here, just using a few different things, putting some blocks out of place, like that one back and that one forward. Makes it feel like it's at an angle. Just little things like that to play around with your eye a little bit, and a few trees and stuff like that. Just come together. By the way, one awesome little thing with these, we did these in the last place in Spiritwood, and putting these blocks under here, the spruce fences, or any fence really, with this little thing, this little like tree bush thing, it makes it so much better than just a plain bush on the ground. I mean, you could still have your bushes on the ground, but having that as well comes together very well. I think that just works so darn good. So here is our next stage, because of course we've got these big awkward gaps here. I'm just going to go ahead and fill them in. I think that's the easiest way to do it. If you think about how this would be used functionally, you probably want it filled in, and that tends to make a bit of sense. So pretty much in general with building, sometimes, well, you know what, I say in general, there are exceptions. But a lot of the time, your best bet in building is to just do things that you would do if you were thinking about building on the land. You know, oh, well, this needs to be filled up because else it's going to start collapsing my building here. Okay, great. Let's do that there. Stuff like that tends to work pretty well. But then there's also a fine line, I guess. Sometimes you have to just, I guess, magically have stuff floating in there and stuff like that. But generally, just adding these little bits in tends to even to someone who's not too, it doesn't have a keen eye for detail, you still pick up thinking like, hey, that's got a bit of interest there. There's something strange about that. And generally it's just you've gone ahead, you've put in that extra bit of thought, and it shows. And in fact, when someone who doesn't play Minecraft or build sees a build and they're like, oh, that looks pretty cool, that's like an even bigger compliment than someone who's playing Minecraft. So that's something there that I think is important, is just think about with your build, just making sure it's got those little details, which are the obvious details, and they kind of cover it all, which is kind of weird, but yeah. the least thoughtful stuff is sometimes the most thoughtful stuff in this game. So let's just have a look at this, just a little bit of I'm just doing a little bit of a shape there. We don't have to go too crazy, because that's inevitably going to be filled in completely. Yeah, we won't worry about that too much. We can maybe just wrap over a bit of this on the other side over here just to merge this in together, but really it doesn't need too much. And also, do we have those? Yeah, over there, just to fill in this gap here, and then we'll go in there, and we'll fill in, just so I feel better, I'll put that there, maybe a bit of these going up here. And that should just feel as though this wall is supported in here, like this. We'll just do a bit there. Yeah, that's perfect. All right, and one more. Perfect. So the next stage, there's only one thing left to do, I think, to really complete this area. We have to do a loop of it. Let's just do a loop and see if we can figure it out. But there's one thing I think that's left to do to just pull it together. And it's going to make a big difference. And that is adding in the ocean stuff. I mean, here it isn't actually the part that counts because we'll come here it later. But adding in a bit more life. So a bit of bone meal for the ocean, a bit of, well, plants for the flowers for the top piece here. And it's going to start looking so good. Look at that, man. This is actually very, very cool. Just seeing this all come together, coming through here. Imagine we can have a bridge over here as well. Oh, didn't make that corner as good. Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, that's really neat. All this work in here, these little projects, really starting to culminate very well there. What did I just hit? I must have hit a fish or something there. Yeah, that is so cool. Very, very neat. All right, let's get some more stuff in here. Here we are. So I've gone ahead, put a few more trees in, just little pieces there, and now we can finally get into the important stuff, making the water look good and getting some color in this place, because that's, I guess, the next stage. You know, you get these the blank grays done, and then you start adding in a bit of life. Let's just go with this. This is actually, by the way, bone meal is your best friend. It's amazing. Look at that. It's almost too much. It just makes everything look amazing like that. Look at that. Just a little bit more. And even, you know what? I've just realized, even considering it has double tall, unlike grass, it's not even just like grass. The way grass does it, they only do, if I'm correct, I'm pretty sure it only does single blocks, not double blocks. Let's just do that. Let's check that out. Yeah, looking nice and, I don't know, decorated up with without any need to really go too specific with it. Let's just do that and get rid of the rest in there and here and here. Okay, that can work. That definitely will work. We can probably like spread out a few little things. For instance, we've got some of these. We can maybe see if this works. Actually, we'll take the fans. They're much better. They are way better. There we go. Yeah. See, it adds a little bit of color and it still works very, very well. These actually are some of the best little things in the game for color, in fact. This is what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead, grab a bucket of water. Okay, that sometimes happens. It's actually been happening to me quite a bit recently, where that you end up doing something like that. Ooh, let's swap this out. Okay, we need a half slab. Maybe we can just get rid of that one. There. Put this half slab in here. Put that in there. So that's actually a half slab of water, and we can go ahead and throw one of those on. And now that'll stay alive. Nice little bit of color. You see? Easy color. Could probably put a few more things around here. And that's just going to make this area really liven up. By the way, we have to still give it one more update on that map. I think that's going to be a big game changer. Okay, let's just actually maybe go against what I said about making tree bushes. We'll just fill this area up with a bit more like bushes around the place. There we go. Just to fill it in a little bit more. We'll eventually put some trees and stuff there. In fact, we'll probably put something else here. Just like man-made so that it looks a bit more interesting than what it is right now. So tell me what you guys think about what we should put in this area next. I'm undecided, specifically building-wise. I want to definitely do some more buildings here, and maybe close to where I said that bridge will be. I think that'll be kind of cool to do something along those lines. We could even, for instance, have one coming off the side of a cliff. We could maybe work something in like that. That's something we'll discuss. We'll see what happens. But I think that will be probably the better stuff for us to do. Just from what I can think of, at least in my head. Those are going to be some pretty cool builds. We'll just put a bit more coral around here. Let's just do that. And the yellow horn coral. This stuff actually looks pretty cool. I want to let's see if we can get one of these on one of those half slab tricks like that. So we'll swap out. Are there any half slabs? I think any of these I have used specifically Like if I've got a double block of them, it's a half slab. I'm pretty sure. Drop some acacia leaves in there because why not? Let's just do that. And half slab, bucket of water, and half slab, bucket of water. There we go. And let's check that out. Yeah, a good bit of color. These are actually magical little things. Look at that. Let's take one more loop around this, just to be sure we're not missing anything, and everything's starting to really come together. Yeah, those little spots of color, we need to work it out in here. Maybe we could do some up in there somewhere, just to put little spots of color. But it's all gonna get kind of walked around. We're gonna redo a lot of this again, just as we go. You know, we build a building, things get broken, we fix them up a bit later. Yeah, that's turning out really good. Let's do one big swoop in from a distance, because that's the best part about it. So we go out here, and I think when we get to that piece of coral or kelp right over there, we do a flip around. Yeah, that's looking really good. Let's check if we can keep it still. Yeah, look, it's starting to go busy. It's perfect. It's got this busy feel to it. You can see a lot of stuff happening to it. That's exactly what we want. Oh, by the way, a boat got stuck in here. I thought this was really cool. Just have a boat fall in there. So we got a bit of trash in our sewer. I forgot to do that. That actually was just after we built it. I did that. I was like, that was a fantastic idea. Why didn't I do it when we were in the sewer? Yeah, this is definitely working out a lot nicer than what I expected. Fantastic. All right, let's just do one more thing, which is update the maps. We don't even have to sleep. We keep it nighttime. That's all right. I'll just fight off the mobs when I'm done with this. But let's go and update this map to see what it turns out like. In fact, I hope maybe me doing this map has made people think about the maps a bit more, because they certainly do have a lot to offer. Surprisingly, a lot to offer. Let's just do that. Any updates? I think that had a little bit update on the pieces there. Oh, there we go. And maybe a little bit of an update on that. And just in case we did anything there. Yeah, now we've got these trees on here. Fantastic. I want to put some more trees in that area, and then we'll start building around them and just work it in there. But man, that is turning out so well. Wonderful. All right, so I guess that over there will be the end of the episode, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've learned something cool about just adding terrain to really corner things in. Like, look at that. That island is perfect. And not to mention, just the map is a fantastic way of looking at this. And I'm very happy with that. But thank you very much for joining me today here, guys. And I will see you very soon.